Morning, YouTubers. It's a beautiful fall Sunday morning here in Bay Roberts, Newfoundland, Canada. Had a couple of subscribers asking me a few questions again, so I figured I'd address them in this video. One of the questions was, what do I use for garden or lawn equipment? So I'll show you a little bit of that. The other question was the plow setup on the 5740. It's one that I took off a truck, off my old truck, back in 2008, and I adapted it to the 4240 I had at the time. And then, of course, when I picked up the 5740 in 2011, I kept it and put it on that tractor, and it's a really good setup. So I'm hoping to show you a little bit of that as well. Also, at the last portion of the video, I'm going to show you what I consider the most important accessory / option that you could possibly have for your Kubota or for any other tractor for that matter. So stay with me, and I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, the lawn equipment. Well, this is our ZG222Z. It's a gas-powered Kubota zero-turn. It's got the fabricated industrial deck, and it's a great rig. I'll show you the engine. It's a true Kubota engine. And there it is there. Not a lot of hours on it. I think it might be only 45 hours on it. But just a great machine. Trouble-free. As with mostly all the Kubota items. You'll see a few little things that's different on it, like a few things added to it to enhance it, or I think it does anyway. But I also fabricated a bumper back in 2008 to tow around a little cart, because you couldn't get a cart for it, so, or you couldn't get a bumper or a hitch to put the cart on, so I ended up fabricating that. And of course it's put in with set screws or set bolts, so I can take them out and just leave the hitch off if need be. It works quite well. Also, you'll see a light in the back, and that's basically a tactical light. It's got about 70 or 80 different patterns, or it can go on full resolution in clear mode, and it's great for backing up in the nighttime. I also added a few 3-inch LEDs up front, just in case I get caught out in the dark like I did a couple of times this summer. It's been extremely busy, so I can only get my mowing done in the nighttime. So that's basically it for the ZG. It has the mulching blades on it and the mulching blade kit. It also has the jack up and under here that flips down on the ground, and you can jack the whole front of it up if you want to clean the deck or remove the blades. That was an option, and it works quite well. Glad I got that. So anybody buying these things, you might want to look into one of those. I added a toolkit mount that was built for the BX, and it's handy to have a little bit of extra, space to put a few tools or whatever. These headphones are pretty well new. They're made by Still, and it's AM/FM radio as well. I find them really good, although I do find the ZG really I get a lot of drone from it with the blades on, with the deck activated. So what I've been doing lately is putting on earplugs with these headphones, and that's pretty well solved the problem. It's not the fault of the tractor, or not the fault of the mower. I think it's just the nature of the beast. It's just what it is. It just creates a drone with those 3 blades spinning over. When it comes to yard work, I picked up this MS 251. Still this summer. It's one of those easy start models, and I'll tell you, I had bursitis in the right shoulder last year. It was quite painful, so I wanted something with an easy start, although I've had no trouble with my shoulder since. I certainly don't want to go through that anymore. And I'm going to tell you, like, it is a really easy starting chainsaw, and really happy that I got it. It's done a nice bit of cutting this year. We removed a lot of trees and stuff from our property, and glad I got that as well. Another new item that we purchased this summer is a FS250 Stihl clearing saw, and right now it's just got the line on it, but I've got blades for it, and I've done a lot of clearing with that as well. And this thing has just got an endless amount of power. Anybody's got one will tell you, you know, just an abundance of power. And again, another top quality Stihl product. And of course we have his and her Stihl helmets, and we call it Stihl and other people call it Stihl, so it's I don't know, tomato or tomato. Around here everybody calls it Stihl, but I think really the proper pronunciation for it would be Stihl. But anyway, I'm sticking with Stihl because I'm like that. And the other thing that I purchased this summer was a pruning saw. And I'm telling you, this thing is a really great rig. I bought it at Princess Auto. I think I paid $80. It's a fiberglass handle, it's electric, and it's expandable up to 10 feet. And I'm telling you, this thing paid for itself the first day. It's got an automatic oiler on it, and just really pleased with it. When it comes to yard equipment, I also have a push-on mower as well. And I also have just a regular weed eater, a gas weed eater. And I just basically use that around the house. But the Stihl products are basically used just for the heavier duty jobs that I do down on the back of the property. And they work quite well. So I hope that answers the question for the subscriber that asked about my garden equipment. It's pretty well all in here. Some are in another shed. But there's nothing extravagant, but it works for us. Okay, we're inside the shed now where the 5740 is housed, and this is basically the blade setup. I apologize for keeping it in here, but it's a lot of work to get it out. I got to move a few vehicles, so I hope this will satisfy the answer to your question. It's basically a blade that I had bought back in back in 1994. Made by Arctic, Canadian company, top quality. It's a 8-foot blade, and anyway, it's a poly blade. It's got a real thick, as you can see, blade, poly cover on it, and it's after taking a few hits, but I've never ever had to replace it. What I did is I removed it from my pickup, and I adapted it to the tractor, the first tractor that we had, the 4240. And I made up the mold board, and added a few hooks just in case people get stuck in the ditch. There was really nowhere on the blade to attach a sling or a cable, so that's the reason why I did it there. I added them there. If you look, you'll notice that the blade is relatively close to the FLE arms. Or FEL arms, sorry. And the reason why I did that is because I needed a compact system. I didn't want something hanging from chains. I wanted a blade that was going to allow me to have down pressure, whereas if I hung it from a chain, I'd lose the down pressure. And I also I accomplished that by moving the A-frame back to the mold board as close as I possibly could, and still get the full turning radius of the blade. The function of the blade is controlled by the third function switch in the cab, and I guess most people who have Kubotas will be able to know what it is. I never took the keys with me, but it's basically there on that FEL control. There's a switch on it, and it's quite easy to operate. So you'll also notice a few other things. There's covers over the spring adjusters here, and the reason why I put covers over there is because when I purchased this blade, it never had this shock on it. I added this shock a couple of years ago, and the reason why I added the shock is because when this blade would tip when you struck ice, if there was any snow up here, before I added these, there's a ledge here, and the snow would build up here, and when the plow would snap back, it would throw snow on the hood of the tractor. So what I did to eliminate that problem is I added a shock. It's a double acting shock. and I added these covers just to eliminate any snow, or eliminate the possibility of any snow getting in on the on that little ledge that's there. So I wish I had to have the sense to have done it back in 1994, but it's better late than never, I guess. And anybody who's doing this type of conversion to a blade, some might disagree with me, but I'm going to tell you, the best thing that I ever done with this blade here is I added shoes to the back portion of the A-frame. And the reason why I did that, because I didn't have to be too concerned about my angle of the blade when I dropped it down. Whereas before, I noticed that as soon as I dropped it down, if I wasn't really paying attention, it's quite possible that the back end of that A-frame could dig into the pavement, and you could mark up your pavement. So I didn't want that to happen. So that's basically what I did, is I added these. It was a simple fix, and I would say on this blade total there's 500 hours now on tractors. And I'm telling you, like, this thing is plowed commercially since 2008 on tractors, and plowed commercially since 2004 up to 2008 on the pickup truck. So the blade is definitely withstanding the test of time, and I'm really pleased with it. Another thing that I did add, you'll notice right here, there's LED lights, side lights, and the reason why they're added to the blade is they blink. They're a flashing light. Maybe what I'll do is I'll get the keys and just turn them on so you can see what they're like. Okay, here's the lights activated. They are very bright, and the reason why I added those to both sides is because when I'm out in the daytime during the storm, or even in the nighttime, and I'm backed in somebody's driveway using the snowblower, which is out in the back, the blade sometimes is out in the road, and oncoming traffic can actually see the blade side on with those lights flashing. So it's a really good safety feature. They're made by Grody, and they're expensive, and they're called Supernovas, I believe, but a really good quality, top quality light. While I'm here, I might as well show you the LED lights. I removed the OEM lights in the cab, and I replaced them with these 7-inch LED lights, and they're quite bright, and they're quite energy efficient. I did the same thing back here, as you can see, and what you see hanging there below that other one, that's just the backup camera. So we'll head out now, and I'll show you what I consider to be the most important option / accessory that you can put on a tractor. If you were wondering if you heard water running earlier, it's because of our fountain. I'm sorry about that, I should have turned it off. Anyway, let's go in and I'll show you the accessory that I'm talking about, that I think everybody should have that owns a machine. This is what we call Gasoline Alley. This is where I put the stuff I restored. Anyway, here it is. As far as I'm concerned, the most important thing that you can buy for your tractor at the time you purchase your tractor is a workshop manual and a parts manual. And as you can see, there's one for the zero turn, there's one for the 5740, and there's one for the BX25D. And every time that I purchase a machine, it's one of the prerequisites that I have to purchase the machine. Supply the manuals with it. If you can't supply the manuals, I don't buy it. Yes, the information is online, and you can ask people on the forums about different information. Some of it is accurate, some of it is not. When you have the proper literature in front of you, it certainly takes the guesswork out of it. I'm guessing between the parts book and the service manual, each is probably less than $200 for the set. And I'm telling you, it's well worth the cash. I get a lot of people asking me questions about tractors, and these are the books that I refer to. And I know that when I give them the information, it's accurate information. And it's not only with tractors, it's with everything else that I own. In vehicles, motorcycles, anything. I always have the manuals. So I hope that that answers some of your questions to the people who asked me the questions, and I hope you get something out of it. Anyway, I appreciate you looking at my videos, and if there's anything that you would like to see, let me know. If there's anything you don't like, you can also let me know. But the most important part is please comment and please subscribe. Thanks for watching.